just finished going up to the Reef Retreat up at Roger Williams University in Rhode Island. It was really a fantastic trip. I went to Beavertail Lighthouse, went to Castle Hill Lighthouse as well. Both of those are really spectacular. We saw some great friends from those areas. And gosh, it was a really relaxing time. Learned a lot about coral. Yeah, came back in and right away working on the 1,000-gallon tank build. Boy, the reef is really looking great, especially with the orange glasses on. I gotta put them on again. I just can't get over how spectacular it is. That's fabulous. Wow, you see that? That is something else, man. Really incredible. Okay, I gotta go back to work. We planted up the first jellyfish aquarium up here on the trailer today. This is going up to the 60th floor this week. Put a counterbalance on the front of this pallet of tropic marin. And then today we trimmed up the big aquarium, took the cross members off and put the runners on. These long runners are about 132 inches by 6 inches wide. Put a lot of silicone, clamp them down. So this is part of the next step of the structural support of the aquarium, but it looks really great. We still have to put the caps on here. They're across, there's the end caps and the center caps will go there. We'll wait a few days and put those on later this week. And then we'll also put on the actual frame itself that goes on top of the aquarium. So it's coming together really well, looks fantastic. The seams look great right here, nice and clean, but it's a big aquarium. It's gonna really be super heavy when we're done, but I'm looking forward to how great it's gonna look. So we're getting here at Friday. Tomorrow we have the Florida Marine Aquarium Society coming here for their quarterly meeting. Blaine Chevrolet from Top Shelf is going to be our guest speaker. They've got some great frags from TSA coming. I ordered brisket and pork, and Buddy's making a bunch of sides. So if you're local in town, you want to come, you should definitely come check it out. It's going to be an awesome meeting tomorrow. So we moved the big glass aquarium over the 1,000-gallon, and it's been setting since literally, oh gosh, I guess Monday. And then the next course of action is really just to take all the clamps off. I inspected the seams already. Silicone's nice and dry. Get the metal things out of the way of the glass, super important. And then what we're gonna do is start running around and trimming the silicone, because I wanna get these center braces on the 4 of them, the top caps, today before the end of the day, so that it's up and clean for the meeting tomorrow. We won't get the top frame on. That won't happen till next week, but it's looking really good. Right now, I'm gonna start. It's probably gonna take me a solid hour to do a good detailed job, but you got single edge razor blades. You gotta be super careful, of course. Some people use holders. I typically haven't, but we'll end up taking these guides. So I had these guides on here. These were important too, for when you put it all together. Important to have the guides, but you'll go along here and you just start trimming off the silicone. So razor blades are cheap. You wanna use as many as you need to use to do a really good job, but after a few minutes, they get dull and you wanna clean them out. Here's a spot where you're gonna cut in and cut back and trim it out. It just takes time, a lot of time actually. Do a really good job with it, and you just got to keep working it. But it's what I would call reasonably tedious to do it, and then you'll have to double check the measurements for the center braces to fit inside of here. I've had to cut the braces before if they're too big and the space is too small. There's a little bit of variability when it comes to that, but you can see I've already gone through one razor blade. It's getting dull already, so I'm going to change blades here in a second and just cut that silicone right off, and then you'll see how ultra fast I am with it when we put this in time lapse and go at hyper speed. Maybe by the end of all the silicone cutting, I will still have all of my fingers and there won't be blood. So after a couple of hours, I thought it might take an hour, but literally it was 2, trim out the silicone. But you can see it's nice and clean. I've got all the edges clean, the areas in between, underneath the long runners clean. These still have to get done. The 45s in the middle still have to get done, and the lower perimeter still has to get done. But prepping it 100% and getting it ready to go so that it's nice and clean before these center braces go in, the end caps go in, and then the top frame goes on. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of steps. We've been working on this aquarium. The date on there is 5/19. So by the time we're done, it's a full month to build a 1,000-gallon glass reef aquarium. And then The delivery of this one's gonna be fun. To a second floor with a big all-terrain lull. To get it in the house, we drew our famous fish on the bottom with Reef Aquaria Design down there. And those fish will basically be under the glass on top of the foam forever. So super cool. Lots of fun still building aquariums after so many years of doing it. And it's gonna be really beautiful when we're done with it. Remember to like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.